Yo, Counter Attack podcast for myself, Daps. Guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. Where do we start? It's just me today. Obviously, you guys are becoming accustomed with having Scorcher on the pod. Scorcher is back on whenever we record later on this week, but he is coming back. So I'm just glad that you lot are rocking with the new co-host that is Scorcher. So he is a bit of a maverick. He does come up with some wild things, but he backs it up, and it's quite refreshing to be on my podcast and have someone that actually comes with something that I might not actually agree with, but I respect it. So yeah, big up Scorcher every time, man. And also go and check out his the latest tune he's got with. Oh no, I don't think it's actually out yet. No, sugar. I was about to drop one. Actually, no. They teased it on their Instagram, but yeah. Anyway, it's all right. But yes, guys, where do we start? Let me see. I'm going to start with Arsenal, obviously. Right. I was a bit scared about this game, if I'm honest. I'm still one of those Arsenal fans that has a little bit of like, I'm always scared when we come up against oppositions, because I've still got trauma from years of Arsenal going away to places and just dropping points that we shouldn't be dropping points. Where we shouldn't be dropping points. And Aston Villa was one of those games. Aston Villa was always going to be a tough game. Obviously, last season they beat us at their ground. Even though we absolutely battered them at their ground, they absolutely, did not do anything in that game, but they won, which is all important. And on Tuesday, and at the home game, they came and did us at our ground. So, going into this game, I was thinking, do you know what? This is the sort of game where if we come away with a win, it would be a real big statement in regards to, not for the title because it's still only the second game of the season, but just in a statement that shows that, okay, Arsenal are here to actually pick up where we left off and go on. Like, this is, we put the mantle down if we win and say, look, we're here to challenge this year. And as much as it's early on in the season, like I said, it was massive. It was massive for Arsenal to come away with the win. I think, like I said, it was a bit of a cagey game to start off with. I expected a couple more chances, I would say, in the game. And, the first big chance didn't come until Gabriel made a mistake, got caught on it. He says it was a foul. I think you just need to do something with that before you even allow the player to even come close to you and get the ball off you. And then obviously Morgan Rogers, who I'm going to talk about, puts the ball to Ollie, and Ollie misses that chance. Now the thing is, on social media, I've been seeing a lot about Ollie and the chances he's missed in that Arsenal game. But for me, I just think that it was just one of those games. Those chances, he's probably gonna go back, think about them, and think, oh gosh, like I messed up. But I just think sometimes as a player, you have one of those games. And for me, it was one of those games for Ollie Watkins. And I don't think we need to read too much into it. I don't think we need to discredit him or, knock him down a couple pegs and whatever. It was just one of those games for him. Thankfully for Arsenal, it was one of those games because, like I said, 2 chances he's had, especially that first one, to score, and he didn't. And the second one, you see David Raya, yeah? I know people will say Ollie Watkins should score, and Ollie Watkins should probably score, but I think because David Raya was on the floor, and normally in that, just hit the target and it's a goal. But David Raya, his reaction to get up and make that save was ridiculous. And you always see goalkeepers when they're training, like they have to quickly save, get up, like they do that all the time. And it's for those moments that those drills come in handy. And yeah, man, David Raya, he's really, he made a really good save last week as well against Wolves. So it's always good when you've got a goalkeeper that isn't really tested a lot, but when he is tested, he's there. I mean, for years we saw keepers like Peter Cech doing it. We saw David De Gea when United were winning doing it. We see Edison do it. Yeah, we see Edison do it, and Allison. Great examples. And David Raya, he's had to battle a lot of people in regards to their opinions and if he should be playing, and he's been critiqued sometimes, and sometimes rightfully so, being critiqued. But he finished the season last year with Golden Gloves, most clean sheets. He started this season with 2 clean sheets. Yes, he's got Gabriel and Saliba in front of him, but he still has to do his job. So, credit where credit's due. And now, obviously, Arsenal get their goal. Right, so I think this is going to be the main topic this podcast. Martinelli, right? Martinelli comes off. Trossard comes on. Scores pretty much straight away. And I think, so my boy Rory, shout out Rory. Rory messaged me just before halftime saying, I think we need to have a conversation about Martinelli. And my thing is that he had a stinker, absolute stinker. But I don't think it should go past it just being a stinker. I know last season wasn't a good season for him. But I think because we've seen what he can do the season before, I'm of the understanding that maybe last year was just an off season. And I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. And I know people are going to crucify me, saying, no, he's finished and blah, blah, blah. But for me, I just think that sometimes people have off seasons. And it's very rare you get players who do not have off seasons in their career, especially in that development stage. So, but he needs to sort it out. Martinelli needs to sort it out. I'm Martinelli Hive. I want him to do well. I think he's got the attributes to do well, but I think because his confidence is so low right now, and he knows he didn't have a good season last season, things that he should be doing, he's just not doing, and his decision making is just out the window now. And even there were a couple times where he had the right back stood up 1-on-1, and he just isn't even attacking fullbacks anymore. When he does, he's running off the pitch. So, yeah, I think his confidence is low. I do think Arteta maybe needs to take him out of the team and start Trossard, because Trossard, his contribution is ridiculous. I didn't realise he scored 17 goals last season. I didn't actually realise that. 17 goals last season is a really, really good return for a winger. And I think there are people that say that when Trossard starts games, he isn't as impactful. But if you've got a player playing in front of you who is not having a good time and is low on confidence, he ain't really contributing, and then you're coming off the bench and you're contributing, I believe it's enough for you to start ahead of that other person. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the thing is, as much as I like Martinelli gets given a lot of chances where he will mess up 2-3 times and whatnot and still play. I'm talking about 2-3 games in a row and still play, whereas Trossard isn't afforded that luxury. So I think for the next couple of games, Trossard should maybe come in, Martinelli come off, and work his way back in, get confidence back up, and then actually show what he can do. Because people forget so quickly over the course of a season that you can just have bad seasons. So I think for me, Martinelli isn't a finished player. I'm not going to sit here and say he's rubbish. I do think he needs to back up his ideas. I do think that he needs to just get his confidence back and just start doing what he needs to be doing and what we know he can do. But I do think Trossard to start in front of him. Trossard is. I saw Craig Davis say he's the best finisher at the club, and you know what? I think he might be. I think the thing about Trossard is that he's just got the intelligence to just get into the right positions. His creativity is just through the roof. And yeah, if you give him half a chance, he's putting it away. Yeah, you know what? I agree. I think he's the best finisher at the club. And I think he is a very underrated. You know what? I used to think he was underrated by many fans, but I do now think that other fans are now looking at Trossard and thinking and giving him his respect, because they just know he's a clutch player. So he did it again against Aston Villa, and it was a much needed goal. And I think once that goal went in, it was Arsenal's game. And obviously Partey scored Martinez should have done better. And what I liked most about that is the way that Arsenal just managed the game after that. I think there was one opportunity where Ramsey was through and go, and Saliba, the recovery tackle. Listen, let me talk about Saliba. Yeah, he is. I know. I'm sorry, yeah, and I'm someone that always, I always downplay a couple Arsenal players because when people say they're the best in the world or whatever, but you will struggle to find a better centre back than Saliba right now. And remember, I'm always saying that Gabriel is the better centre back and whatever, but when Saliba plays like he played the other day, man, it's you can't like think anything other than he's one of the top 5 in the world. I'm not going to say top 1 because there's many centre backs who, well, not many, but I think there are centre backs that are better. I do still think that Van Dijk is a better defender than Saliba, but hey, Saliba is close, and as Van Dijk is coming to the end of his career, Saliba is, he's ascending, and he had a flawless game again, man, and credit to him. Morgan Rogers gave Declan Rice a bad day. Not that Declan Rice played badly, but and Partey, to be fair, but Morgan Rice was a handful. Do you get what I'm saying? Pace, power, setting up chances. Like they will be glad to see the back of him. And Morgan Rogers, he does that. I think if he can do that a bit more consistently, we've got a player on our hands. When I say we, I mean like just football in general. But yeah, very, very, very good game from him. In terms of Aston Villa, I do think that they're going to be there or thereabouts again. I think what's going to be testing for them is obviously European football. But they've recruited well. They've got the numbers in, hopefully, to deal with that. And in Emery, they have a coach that is really, really good at cup football. So we'll see how far Aston Villa get. Will they? I think we'll see. I don't want to. I want to put them in top 4, but then European football, especially when it's your first time in ages or whatever, it's a lot to bear. It's a lot to do. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. What else? Saka. Listen, I'm going to get to Chelsea and Madueke in a second, but I saw people saying that Madueke scoring a hat-trick before Saka scores a hat-trick. And it's true, Saka hasn't scored a hat-trick yet, but like, what is the purpose of those stats? Like, I don't understand. There's been a couple games where he scored 2. I'm talking about Saka. His output, Saka's output, Madueke cannot even, he's not even coming close to that right now. So what is this obsession that people have with comparing players to Saka all the time? In my group chat this morning, it's about Saka. And it's all people saying he's not that good. But yet he's a topic of conversation. Do you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, with other fans, they seem to think it's just Arsenal fans hyping up Saka. But then when he plays for England, all of a sudden, other fans are like, nah, Saka is good, he's blah, blah, blah. And I've just come to the conclusion that because he plays for Arsenal, people just do not like him. Or they like him, but they won't give him the props that, that he should get. And yeah. So I don't know. I just think it's just a weird obsession that people have with just always comparing people to Saka. But, I mentioned Madueke and onto Chelsea. It was interesting because obviously before the game, Noni's obviously thought he was on his burner account or his private account or whatever. And he's put, everything about Wolverhampton is and obviously the Wolves fans weren't happy with that. But then he goes and bangs a hattie. Gets a hat-trick now, and I think when I was watching that, I'm not gonna lie, that hat-trick was emphatic. It was an emphatic hat-trick, and Cole Palmer obviously set up all 3 of those goals as well. What a player. Cole Palmer looks like he's not just a one-season wonder. He looks like he is gonna kick on, because even with his goal, to just have that bit of creativity, that instant creativity to just see it and just bang, goal, clinical, yes please, and he's just got, Cole Palmer's got the aura of a player that knows he's good and backs it. And those are the most dangerous players because them players, their confidence doesn't go. A lot of players, once their confidence goes, you see a different player. Cole Palmer, his confidence does not go. He knows he's that guy for Chelsea. He just knows he's that guy in general. So that's a dangerous player to have because they're just going to kick on and they're just going to keep doing their thing. Now, it don't matter what's going on over there. I'm doing my thing over here. And that's what Cole Palmer's on. And yeah, my credit to Madueke. You know, last season I did say about Madueke that I wasn't having him, not because of his ability, but I just felt like there was a lot of bravado without the end product, without the end result. And towards the back end of the season, he started showing a bit more and you know, making better decisions. And yeah, now with that hat trick, you know, I can't say anything but well done. I can't say anything but that is what I like. You know, you can go and have the bravado, you can go and be saying you're the man and everything, but when you're doing all that and you're not even performing properly, yeah, I'm not having that. But yeah, he was good, and all of a sudden Chelsea are looking. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's been a lot of jokes about, you know, how many players they've brought in or whatever, but with all the players that they've brought in, if you look at the top 11 to 15 of them, that's a very good team. That's a very, very good team if you look at that. You know, we're talking about being able to bring Felix off the bench is mad. Cole Palmer, Madueke, good team. I mean, good players. Caicedo, even though Caicedo, I still think I still want a bit more from him. But you know, Lavia, and if you get them playing in a way where it suits the players that they have, they could be a problem for a lot of teams. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. No, I do think that they've got the potential to really surprise a few people, to really go on, and if they gain momentum, they could be a dangerous team and not many people will want to play against them. But also, Raheem Sterling. Right. This whole Raheem Sterling issue, yeah. I think, obviously, I'm going to start off with, you know, the statement made. It was a silly statement. If we're keeping it real, it was a silly statement. And I'm a Raheem Sterling fan, but it was a silly statement. But what I will say though is that there's obviously something happening behind the scenes that he's probably not happy about. And I think when you get an experienced player like Raheem Sterling and he's being treated maybe a bit unfairly by being frozen out, I think taking the number, was it Yao Felix? They gave someone number 7, which is Raheem Sterling's number, and he's still at the club. I think that's a disrespect for any player, let alone a player that's been there, done it in the Premier League, won Premier League titles and everything. And I think that Maresca said it was for footballing reasons and whatever, but you can't tell me that having Mudryk ahead of Sterling in the squad is a better decision. Yes, Sterling didn't have the greatest of seasons overall. I think there were times in the season where he played well, but you can't tell me it's footballing reasons. Then you still got Mudryk there. You can't tell me that there's no space for someone with the experience and quality of Raheem Sterling. And you know, a lot of people are talking about £300,000 a week and whatever, but what's that got to do with anything? It's for footballing reasons, right? So what's his wages got to do with anything? I never ever understand that argument about wages, because would the situation be okay if he was on 80,000 a week? Like, what is the relevance of wages? Right. I think though, Raheem Sterling is obviously, I don't think it's going to end well. From when you've taken the number away from him, from when you've frozen him out, make him train with like the other group, and he's not even training with the proper team, and you openly said he's not part of the plans. He's obviously going to end up leaving the club, and then it makes me think, what clubs should go after him? And I did say that I felt like Arsenal should go after him, and that's not because I think that he will come in and start or whatever, but I feel like you need a squad of good players. And yes, we might be looking, you know, people might say, it's Chelsea reserves or Chelsea unwanted, whatever. But I still believe he's a good player. I think he was a good player playing in a crap team last year. And I think that if you put him in a team that has got a solid system, he will do well in. And I do believe he will do well in Arsenal, where he's getting the ball in the areas where he can cause damage, and he's getting it time and time again there. He's getting the ball in areas where he can just get, the little tap-ins at the back post, and Arsenal is a team that plays to his strengths. But maybe I'm just bugging, and, he's actually not as good as, I think he still is. But that's up for you guys. You just let me know, and we can just take it from there. But yeah, Chelsea are going to be a very, very difficult team to beat on their day, because there are still things about them where I'm like, I'm not too sure about them. But them things will come. Maresca's obviously got the way he wants them to play, and you can see some nice things in there. Wolves made it easy for them as well. I think we have to acknowledge that Wolves made it ridiculously easy for them, especially once that third goal went in. Wolves just capitulated, and there were just gaps galore. There was like no holding midfielder, no one doing any defending. It was just really, really bad. They just capitulated. But yeah, that's it from the Chelsea stuff. Hey, right, I'm going to fly through the rest of the topics, because I've already been here for like 20 minutes recording this. I was only meant to do like 10 minutes. Right. Manchester United. Okay, same old Manchester United. In regards to like the bad goals, the defensively bad goals that they're conceding. That first goal was just really, really bad. Second goal, back post, I think they had like 3 players free at that moment, and it's a late goal as well. I do think though that even though I see some nice things from them, I think I see nice things because there's good players who just put stuff together every now and then, which is going to happen, especially when the confidence is up. But I'm yet to see a real style, and this is still one of the questions that remains about Manchester United and Ten Hag, because even Maresca's come in and you're seeing something in regards to how he wants Chelsea to play. You look at Arsenal, they have their style. Arne Slot has come in, even though it's still very much Klopp's team, he's still got his own, you can see little things working and whatnot. But Manchester United, I'm still yet to see anything like that. And I think that's the more concerning thing. Less about the result, because, that unlucky offside goal, if that goes in, United maybe go on to win the game. And then we're talking about the game very differently. But they've got their first loss of the season. I do think that they've made some good signings. I think by bringing in De Ligt, Mazraoui, who else am I missing? De Ligt, Mazraoui. There's someone else. How can I be forgetting this? Oh my gosh. How can I forget? The central defender, the young boy. Totally forgot his name, sorry. But yeah, you can see that they know that defensively it was an issue for them. And now they're also trying to bring in Ugart. So you can see that they want to shore things up defensively. But I just think that as a team, it's not about the personnel. As a team, they're just not great at defending. You know what I mean? Like when you look at other teams, their defensive shapes are solid. United don't have that solid base. So I think they're always going to run into certain problems when they're getting countered and stuff like that. But, it is what it is. I do want to say Dalot has really grown on me, man. Dallow's become a solid, consistent fullback, right or left back. And I think that, yes, United do need a real left back, because Shaw is just always injured. He only plays for England. But Dalot is a worthy player to be starting. Even when Shaw's back, I think I would start. No, maybe because of the actual balance of the team, and in terms of having a left footer, you'd put Shaw there. But Dalot has become a real good pro, a proper professional, and I'm having him. I'm having him for United. Remember I said that. Yeah. But yeah, that's that. What else? Liverpool. I felt that Liverpool controlled the game. It's still a bit difficult with Liverpool to make an assessment, because all the players are still Klopp's players. So, and as much as you can see little things that Arne Slot's doing, it's still pretty much Klopp's system. It's still pretty much Klopp's team. So, and it's the team that he had for years. So the way that they play and the way that they move is ingrained in that team. And he's inherited a good team, which is a good thing for Arne Slot. Because a lot of the time you see managers that have come into teams and the team is just not good. The good thing is that Arne Slot has inherited a really, really good team. And Salah looks like he's picking up where he's left off. This is the first time he scored two on the opening, like in the opening two games of the season. You know, the new haircut has got him feeling a bit light on his feet. He looks up for it. Trent's playing well. I'm a bit surprised by Gravenberch over Endo in centre midfield. Not to say Gravenberch ain't a good player. I just think Endo's naturally more suited to that number 6. Obviously, it's still early on in the season. So you know, that can change. But I am a bit surprised that he's gone with Gravenberch, you know, for the first couple games in that number 6 position. But yeah, is that it from me? No, Haaland hat-trick, normal, nothing more to say there. Gundogan, Ilkay Gundogan. I think that is a really, really smart move by Manchester City. I think he can still do it. I think that we're in a time where people just, like in this new age, people just think once you're past 26, if you're not 26 and under, then you're basically finished as a player and you shouldn't be bought. But no, I think when you are good enough, especially at those ages, like the plus 30 years, and you've got a more experienced, you know, view of the game, I think there's no replacing them kind of players. Gundogan went, they tried to replace him, they couldn't, in my opinion. And you look at the other experienced players around football. Toni Kroos has just retired, Modric has just retired. These are players that got better with time and with age, and Gundogan is one of those players. And I would happily have him at Arsenal. Another one. You know, I said, I'm going to try and find the tweet and put it up. I said, it was like October 2022, I believe. Yeah, October 2022. I said, because his contract was running out at the end of that season, the season before last, and I said, Arsenal should get him. People laughed at me. People said I was crazy. He's gone to Barcelona, and look, he's good enough to go straight back to Man City, who were like the best team in England. But yeah, Arsenal weren't, you know, he wasn't good enough for Arsenal. So I don't know, you know, a bit weird. But yeah, guys, that's it from me, man. I'm gonna try to come in tomorrow. Also, I bought the little stick, stick for my phone, so I can go live on TikTok. So I'm gonna start doing lives on my TikTok, just having a little fun at night time, because the good thing about that with TikTok, I ain't got to do the whole setup and whatever. So I'm just gonna set up my selfie stick and whatever. I'm gonna test it out later on today. So you lot are probably seeing this on Tuesday. So Tuesday night, I'm just gonna set it up and just go live and just have a conversation. There's not going to really be any structure to it. I'm literally just going to get in there, see who's asking questions and just answer it, and then just have a bit of back and forth. Just a way to just build a bit more of a community again and just engage with everyone. So if you're not following me on TikTok, get over there. And yeah, I think that's it from me, man. I'm out.